That's always kind of been her thing, right? Drawing?
You have to promise not to freak out.
Amber drew that?
She's working through some stuff.
You know, feelings aren't bad. When you get angry, sad, or scared, put it in here, where it can't hurt anyone.
Here's the thing. Life is all about balancing the good and the bad.
I saw an eyeball with legs.
Every part of that was horrifying.
Sketch. In theaters now. Get your tickets at angel.com/sketch.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're crushing morning miles or sprinting through back-to-back meetings, give your body the energy, protein, and power it needs to help you conquer your goals. Only at Smoothie King.
Caloroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. I'm laughing because I'm not really sure this first story is good news, but I like the weird stories too. Well, good news if you like snakes. An LA woman pulled into the parking garage and she noticed something on top of the dumpster. It was 20 feet long. Can you guess what it was? That's right, a snake, a python to be specific. Teresa got home and was like, hey, what's that? And it was indeed a 20-foot python. She called the cops. They were like, call animal control. She said, I tried and couldn't get through to animal control. The cops were like, snake wrangling isn't what we do. So they had to call Joseph, the Southern California reptile hunter. The reptile hunter got the snake and took it away to be examined by a vet. They think it was perhaps possibly maybe ill and had been abandoned in the trash. Pythons are not native to the United States, but a lot of people keep them as pets. Don't throw away your pets. That's not cool. On a plane, a senior citizen suffers from claustrophobia. The senior citizen offered a man in the aisle seat $100 to switch seats. He was like, no, I'm good. Not that he's being a jerk about the seat. Not that he wouldn't give up the seat. He didn't want the money. The woman was like, take the $100. And no, I'm good. No, take the $100. She eventually told him to give some of the money to his kids as a lesson that being kind bring rewards. The man explained, as I approached my seat, an elderly lady was having a hard time getting her bag in the overhead, so I offered to help. She ended up being in 1D. I was 1C. So this must have been one of those 4-seaters, right? Because otherwise C and D would both be aisles, wouldn't they? Yeah. She immediately said she'd pay me $100 to swap seats because she feels claustrophobic in the window seats. Yep, there you go, bingo. Once you read the story ahead, Johnny Mac. In this particular seat configuration, even though I prefer an aisle seat, I told her I'd gladly switch for free. Good news if you're an antelope in Kenya. 17 mountain bongos have been flown to Kenya from the Rare Species Conservation Center in Florida for eventual reintroduction into their natural habitat in Kenya. Mountain bongos are a subspecies of bongo, which, as you know, are the largest of the forest-dwelling antelopes. Scientists believe that the mountain bongo became a forest species when climate change turned savanna areas into forests thousands of years ago. The last time a shipment of animals this big made it to Kenya was 2004, when 18 animals arrived safely. Those guys successfully integrated with the wild population. Scientists are psyched. Congratulations to the orchestra that plays instruments made from vegetables. They've earned a Guinness World Record. The Vegetable Orchestra, an 11-piece orchestra formed in Vienna in 1998, has performed a total of 344 concerts using specifically made instruments like a carrot recorder, a cucumber phone, a radish bass flute, percussive pieces of eggplant, and, of course, a leek violin. The orchestra on their website explains, we believe that we can produce sound that cannot easily be produced by other instruments. You can hear the difference. It sometimes sounds like animals, sometimes just like abstract sounds. The orchestra does have a request. Please stop asking if they're vegetarians. They said on their website, no, we are not. Don't ask again. We've heard this question 3 million times.
That's always kind of been her thing, right? Drawing?
You have to promise not to freak out.
Amber drew that?
She's working through some stuff.
You know, feelings aren't bad. When you get angry, sad, or scared, put it in here, where it can't hurt anyone.
Here's the thing. Life is all about balancing the good and the bad.
I saw an eyeball with legs.
Every part of that was horrifying.
Sketch. In theaters now. Get your tickets at angel.com/sketch.
And did you see this one in Brooklyn at the Brooklyn Cyclones game? They're a minor league baseball team. They had their annual Seinfeld night. This year, they had people do the Elaine Bennis dance. Remember that from the Seinfeld episode? I don't even know how I would describe it. It's not a very attractive dance. George Costanza once described it as a full-body dry heave set to music. Congratulations to Olivia, a New York-based actress. She was named the winner of the contest. Fans attending Seinfeld Night also received a limited edition Kramer bobblehead. And those are your 5 good news stories for today. Have a good one.
Hi, I'm Patrick Gutfield, and Ballot is the political podcast that covers the daily madness in Washington. If you're into stories about guys who cheat at golf, might be in the Epstein files, and can't stay out of the headlines, yeah, we cover that. And of course, we also sometimes talk about the president. Ballot is smart, funny, and out every weekday. Search Ballot and hit follow, because politics should come with a laugh track. Ballot.
Welcome to Alligator Alcatraz, a new podcast from Caloroga Shark Media. They built a detention center in the Florida Everglades to separate families and break spirits. Surrounded it with alligators, figured that'd be the end of it. What they didn't count on was Tommy Esperanza, a quiet maintenance worker who turned their bureaucratic nightmare into something extraordinary. While corrupt politicians profited from human suffering and incompetent officials created disasters with PowerPoint presentations, Tommy built an underground network that reunited families, exposed massive fraud, and brought down a congressman. Where the Gators were smarter than the guards, families fought back against systematic cruelty, and one man proved that wisdom beats authority every single time. Alligator Alcatraz, available wherever you get your podcasts.